Welcome to Interpersonal Communication, Course 508. Next slide. Today we will be going over your objectives. The objectives of this course is to reach your goal, enlarge your conversation, background and behavior blend, potential barriers in interpersonal communication, noise pollution and solutions, and a plan of action. But we will talk about our introduction on today. Next slide. What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is the type or kind of communication that involves two people talking, whether it be present or whether you're verbal or nonverbal speaking, as Stewart states in his book. Inhaling, listening, exhaling, talking. The main characteristic of interpersonal communication is that the people are involved or contacting each other as persons. Next slide. Overarching our goal. My overarching goal is to become an effective communicator to my family, friends, and co-workers. My desire is to change, to become better, not bitter, and a better listener. James 1:19 tells us, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak and slow to wrath." Also, the importance of communication. It is important to build on healthy relationships. Healthy relationships are built in self-disclosure relationships that grows and develop as two people become more open about themselves to each other, as Stewart states in his text. Self-disclosure enables you and other people get together and to know each other. Improve the quality of relationships. Allows you to validate perception of reality. And Christ is real and revealed in me. Next slide. Enlarging the conversation. Identify needs plus intentional resourcing equals enlarging the conversation. What does that mean? My definition is, what can I do to enhance my relationship through communication? Other words, having a conversation with another person. Communication builds relationships, as you will learn later on in reading Stewart's text. Next slide. Steps to enlarging your conversation. Understand that you will make mistakes. Your intentions are complex. You contribute to the problem. And then ask yourself, what can I do to help? Next slide. Enlarging the conversation. My personality type, according to Mel Carbonell, it suggests that I have great balance between being active and being passive. I'm more enthusiastic and excited. Get out of my comfort zone. Let my hair down. Have fun. Reduce my strengths and improve my uniqueness. Be more articulate. Enhance my communication skills. Practice nexting. In other words, what can I do next to help? Practice talking more and listening. Be a mindful listener. It is part of you. However, it requires a desire to listen in Stewart's text, as Stewart relates to being a good listener. Practice the technique TLC, which is a talk listening card game, which is a game that Peterson develops, and it helps you with being able to talk and listen as the other person is speaking. Next slide. The DISC model of behavior. The D in DISC model is active task oriented, dominating, directing, demanding, determined, decisive, doing. I is the active people oriented, inspiring, influencing, inducing, impressing, interactive, interested in people. C is passive, task oriented, cautious, competent, calculating, compliment, careful, and contemplative. S, passive people oriented, steady, stable, shy, security oriented, servant, submissive, specialist. And what the DISC model is, it tells us about the type of personality that you are. That when you take your unique you assessment test and when you take your quantum test, you will find out as you take the test what your personality blend is, and then you would just discover your human behavior. Next slide. The behavioral background. My behavioral background. I'm an African American female, come from a single parent household. I am the youngest girl of 11 children, the first to go to college and get educated, and the first female person in my family to go to the military and to retire. My personality blend is SD. This is what is expected of me. I'm a dreamer, dominant, submissive, drive, determination, hard worker, and quiet and shy. This is me, SSD. Passive, sweet, sensitive, compliant, cautious, not talkative, or crowd pleaser, reserved, to be in charge, and like helping others. Next slide. Interpersonal communication skills, according to the quantum test, my results are insightfulness, 80%. I have the ability to read others and understand things from their view. My verbal expressions, 38. The ability to deliver a clear and concise message. Assertiveness was 56. Willingness to express different opinions and to stand up for yourself, to stand up for myself. My listening skills, 44, understanding of the rules, listening, etiquette, and ability to actively attend to others. My emotional management was a 45, the ability and willingness to deal with your own as well as other people's emotions. Next slide. My potential barriers, positive and negative influences. Positive, strong, kind, nice, caring, loyal, open, submissive, risk-taking, enthusiastic, loving, sincere, optimistic, competitive. Negative, daring, fun-loving, cocky, careful, cautious, straight, conforming, energetic, satisfied, right, correct, entertaining, and intense. Next slide. My communication barriers, lack of being a good listener. Peterson takes, why don't we listen better? Learn to understand people. C.S. Lewis states, don't wait until you love people to act on their behalf. Act on their behalf and you will come to have them. You will come to love them. Learn to listen by using the TLC technique. The talk listening card. When the sender is speaking, then the receiver should be listening and not talking. Get away from being a flat brain. Learn the difference between thought and feeling. Next slide. Noise pollution. Factors that influence us to be distracted from listening effectively at level 1, the Burrow Allen. 2 types of noise pollution. Internal, level 1 listening. Selective, bias, emotional, fatigue. The solutions is get rid of the past and how to use it and how you use to listen. Be patient, optimistic, and process the information. Next slide. External noise pollution. Traffic noise, controlled outside influence, multitasking. You might want to reduce multitasking, and rapidly speaking. Slow down on the speaking. The solution is find quiet place, low volume activity area. Don't be in a hurry to accomplish or take a risk. Remain focused. Ask for help. Next slide. Plan of action. Pray first that God will lead and guide you in everything that you say and do. Gain a desire to want to change. Humble spirit. Go through the process. Do not give up. Next slide. Conclusion. I had several aha moments while going through this course, especially in Stewart text, the metaphor inhaling and exhaling. Reminded me of the movie, Waiting to Exhale. This course allowed me to really do self-examination on myself. 1 Corinthians 11, let a man examine himself. I thank God I had the opportunity to take this course and to realize my communication skills I can use to enhance them. I have a desire to want to change and do right by my family, friends, and co-workers. But my ultimate goal is to please God. One thing I do know is that I am going to be better, not bitter. Next slide. This concludes our class.